Imagine this. You've just spent 10 years away from home, fighting a war you weren't even sure you'd survive. 10 years of mud, blood, and burying friends. And then, finally, you win. The war is over. Your ship is loaded. Your home is only a 2-week sail away. Your wife is waiting. Your son doesn't even remember your face. All you have to do is sail home. Instead, it takes you 10 more years. You lose every single ship, every single man. And it happens because, at the one moment it mattered most, you couldn't stop yourself from bragging. This is the Odyssey, a story nearly 3,000 years old. And you are Odysseus, king of Ithaca. Let's begin. For 10 years, you and the Greek army have camped outside the walls of Troy. You cannot break in. They will not come out. Thousands of men have already died for nothing. You come up with an idea nobody else would have dared to try. Build a wooden horse. Hide our best soldiers inside it. Leave it at their gates, and sail away. Your commanders stare at you. You're certain this will work? Trust me, everyone loves a gift. And if they look inside it first? Who looks inside a horse? The Trojans drag it through their own gates. That night, while the whole city celebrates its victory, your hidden soldiers climb out, open the gates from the inside, and let the Greek army back in. By sunrise, Troy is gone. You did it. You're a hero. Now all you have to do is sail home. To Penelope, your wife, and Telemachus, the son you left as a baby. It should take 2 weeks. It takes you 10 years. Your first stop is Ismarus, home of the Cyclops. You and your men raid the town, take the wine and the treasure, and you give the order, back to the ships. Now, your men don't listen. They stay on the beach all night, drinking what you just stole. By morning, the Cyclops return with reinforcements. 72 of your men die before you even reach open water. Day 1 of the journey home. You're already burying soldiers that a storm drags your ships off course for 9 days straight. You land on an island where the local people offer your scouts a strange fruit, the lotus. It doesn't hurt them. It's worse. It erases them. Their names, their homes, their families, gone. All they want, for the rest of their lives, is another bite of the fruit. You have to drag 3 of your own men back to the ship, screaming, begging to be left behind. You sail away before anyone else can taste it. You think that's the worst stop of the trip. You're wrong. You land on the island of the Cyclops and take 12 of your best men to explore a cave stacked with cheese and livestock. Your men want to grab what they can and leave. You say no. I want to meet whoever lives here. That decision is about to cost you everything. The cave belongs to Polyphemus, a one-eyed giant, and the son of Poseidon, god of the sea. He rolls a boulder across the entrance so massive that 22 wagons couldn't move it. You're trapped. The Cyclops grabs 2 of your men, smashes them against the rock, and eats them raw. He does it again the next morning. You can't kill him. He's the only one strong enough to move the stone. So you offer him wine instead. Cup after cup. Cyclops. What's your name? Polyphemus. What's yours? My name is Nobody. Nobody. I like you. I'll eat you last. That's my gift to you. Thanks. Very generous. Once he's passed out drunk, you sharpen an olive stake, heat it in the fire, and drive it straight into his eye. He screams. The other Cyclopes come running. Polyphemus. Who's hurting you? Nobody. Nobody is hurting me. Then stop screaming and go back to sleep. The next morning, blind and desperate, Polyphemus rolls the stone back just far enough to let his sheep graze, feeling every animal's back so no man can ride out. You strap yourself and your surviving men underneath the sheep instead. You walk out right under his hands. You're free. If you sail away right now, this is over. Poseidon never has to know. You don't sail away. As your ship pulls off the shore, you stand up and shout back at the blinded giant. Cyclops, if anyone asks who did this to you, tell them it was Odysseus, son of Laertes, king of Ithaca. Your men beg you to stop. You don't care. You want the credit. And now Polyphemus has a name to curse. Father Poseidon, if I truly am your son, make sure Odysseus never reaches home. And if he does, let him arrive broken, alone, into a house full of ruin. Poseidon hears every word. He grants all of it. From this point on, the sea itself is your enemy. You reach the island of Aeolus, keeper of the winds. He likes you. He seals every dangerous wind inside a leather bag and gives you one gentle breeze to carry you home. For 9 days, it works perfectly. On the 10th day, Ithaca appears on the horizon. You can see smoke rising from your own chimneys. You've been awake the entire voyage. You finally let yourself close your eyes. Your crew has been staring at that bag for 9 days. Gold, probably. He's been guarding it this whole trip. Let's just look. Every trapped wind explodes out at once. The storm throws your ships all the way back across the sea, in sight of home, and further from it than ever. You beg Aeolus for help again. The gods clearly hate you. Get off my island. The Laestrygonians are giants, every one of them. When your fleet sails into their harbor, they hurl boulders down from the cliffs and spear your men like fish. 11 of your 12 ships are destroyed in minutes. Hundreds of men, gone. Only your ship survives, because you'd anchored outside the harbor instead of inside it. 12 ships are now one. 600 men are now a few dozen. And you haven't even reached the halfway point. You wash up on the island of the witch goddess Circe. You send a scouting party ahead. She welcomes them, feeds them, and touches them with her wand. Every one of them becomes a pig. You go in alone to save them. The god Hermes gives you a plant that blocks her magic. When her spell fails on you, Circe restores your men and asks you to stay. You stay for a year, feasting, while Penelope sits alone in Ithaca, not knowing if you're alive or dead. Eventually, your own men have to remind you, "Sir, are we ever going home?" "Right. Home. Yes. Let's do that." Before you can leave, Circe tells you there's one more stop, the edge of the world, to speak with the dead. You dig a pit, fill it with blood, and summon the spirits below. Prophet Tiresias gives you one warning. Do not touch the cattle of the sun god, Helios. If you do, you will lose everything. While you're there, you see your own mother. She died of grief, waiting for you. You reach for her 3 times. 3 times, she slips through your arms like smoke. That's the cost of the 10 years you've already lost. You sail toward the sirens, creatures whose voices are so beautiful that every sailor who hears them steers straight into the rocks and drowns. You seal your crew's ears with beeswax so they can't hear a thing, but you want to hear the song yourself. So you have them tie you to the mast and give them one order. No matter what I say, do not untie me. The moment the song starts, you lose your mind. Tie me tighter. I take it back. Untie me now. Your men glance at each other and keep rowing. You told us to ignore that. You survive. Barely. Next, you have to choose between 2 monsters. Scylla, a 6-headed creature on one side of a narrow strait. Charybdis, a massive whirlpool that swallows entire ships on the other. There is no safe path through. You choose Scylla, knowing it will cost you 6 men instead of the whole crew. She snatches 6 of your sailors and eats them alive while they scream your name. You don't stop the ship. You can't. If you do, you lose everyone. You reach the island Tiresias warned you about, home to the sacred cattle of the sun god, Helios. You tell your men, do not touch them, no matter what. But the winds turn against you. You're trapped on that island for a month, and the food runs out. While you sleep, your starving men slaughter the cattle anyway. The gods can punish us later. We're dying now. When you wake to the smell of roasting meat, you already know what's coming. The moment your ship sails, Zeus splits it in half with a single lightning bolt. Every man you have left drowns in front of you. You survive alone, clinging to a piece of the wreckage. The sea carries you to the island of the goddess Calypso. She falls in love with you and offers you a deal most men would take without thinking twice. Immortality. Stay with her forever. Never grow old. Never die. You say no. You sit on that beach every single day for 7 years, staring at the horizon, crying for a home you're not even sure still remembers you. Eventually, Athena convinces Zeus to intervene. Zeus says release him. Fine, but I'm not giving him a ship. You build a raft with your bare hands and sail for 17 days. Poseidon spots you and smashes it to pieces. He still isn't finished with you. You wash up, barely alive, on the shore of Phaeacia. King Alcinous hears your entire story and finally, gives you a real ship home. You wake up on the beach of Ithaca, 20 years after you left it. While you were gone, over 100 men moved into your palace, eating your food, drinking your wine, and pressuring your wife to remarry, certain you were dead. Penelope has been stalling them for years with one of the greatest tricks in history. She told them she'd choose a husband the moment she finished weaving a burial shroud for your father. Every day, she wove it. Every night, she quietly undid her own work. For 3 years, until a servant gave her away. Athena disguises you as an old beggar so you can walk back into your own home without anyone recognizing you. At the gate, an old dog lifts his head from a pile of manure. It's Argos, the puppy you raised 20 years ago. His tail wags once. His ears drop. And he dies, having waited 2 decades just to see you one last time. Who's that old beggar? Nobody important. Then why is that dying dog wagging his tail at him? Inside, the suitors mock you, throw food at you. One of them throws a stool at your head. You take all of it. Watching, counting, waiting. Penelope announces a contest. Whoever can string your bow and shoot an arrow through 12 axe heads in a row will win her hand. One by one, the most powerful men in Greece try. Not one of them can even bend the bow. The old beggar asks for a turn. They laugh at you. You pick up your own bow, string it like it's nothing, and fire the arrow clean through all 12 axes. Then you turn the bow on them. You thought your king was dead. You devoured his home. You harassed his wife. You plotted to kill his son. Now pay for all of it. You and Telemachus kill all 108 suitors in your own great hall. But Penelope still isn't convinced it's really you. 20 years is a long time to hope. Servants, move the king's bed out of the bedroom for our guest. That bed can't be moved. I built it myself around a living olive tree. One of the bedposts is the tree, still rooted in the ground. Nobody else knows that. Only me. And you. Penelope breaks down. 20 years. 2 wars. A god's curse. Witches, monsters, storms, and a decade of strangers eating away your home. And it all comes down to a man remembering how he built his own bed. The Odyssey is nearly 3,000 years old, and it's still teaching the same lesson it taught in the 8th century BC. You can be the smartest person in the room, and still be the one who ruins everything, if you can't control your own pride. You outsmarted a cyclops. You survived the sirens. You walked into the land of the dead and walked back out. But it took you 10 years to learn the one thing you should have known from the very beginning. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is keep your mouth shut. If you were standing on that ship, watching Polyphemus scream on the shore behind you, would you have shouted your name? Or would you have just sailed home? Let me know below.